A year ago, I walked into Riley's room and he asked, "Have you seen this bike touring vlog?" To which I said, "What the fish is bike touring?" So then we watched it, and then we watched another one, and again, a different one. We were hooked. Of course, we could never do something like this ourselves. Hell, we didn't even own bikes. But once we realised free will exists, we booked the cheapest flights to Europe that we could find, like really cheap, and also got ourselves some second-hand bikes from Marketplace. But two's a date and three's a party, so I messaged Kelly, who lives on the other side of Australia, to see if he wanted to join. Just like us, he had not ridden a bike in many years, but of course he was in. So, how do we make our tour a bit different? We decided to set what was in hindsight a very stupid challenge. Could we go the whole 9 weeks without paying for accommodation or campsites for even a single night? This would give us 2 main options each night. Option 1 was wild camping, something we'd never done before and was technically illegal in most countries in Europe, but provided we were well hidden, respected the environment, and left without a trace, we believed it was something we could pull off. Option 2 was the generosity of strangers. For this, we learnt about an app called Warm Showers. Odd name, but simple purpose. You could check cities you were visiting in advance and message people on the app to ask to be hosted for a night. In return, we could cook up a dinner, as well as share some bikepacking stories and experiences. Lastly, where the hell were we even going? Initial plans were all over the shop, but as the cheapest flights were into Paris and out from Rome, we planned a route based on that, going through all the major cities that we wanted to see. But thanks to the no accommodation challenge, as long as we made it to Rome on time, we could kind of go anywhere. Just like that, leaving day had arrived. Despite all recommendations for going on a mini practice tour first, we still had not tested any of our gear, tried out touring, or understood anything about bike maintenance. We kind of just arrogantly assumed we'd learn it all quite quickly. Of course, we didn't know ahead of us lay hospital trips, police visits, stolen phones, a billion flat tyres, and goddamn mountains, because all of that was still ahead of us. But going into week 1, our goal was quite simple. Figure out how the hell bike touring actually works. We hit our first roadblock of the trip pretty much instantly, and that was being able to bring the bikes with us to Paris. You see, it was only after purchasing the cheapest flights that we could find that we realised the airline, China Southern, has very strict policies on what you can and can't bring, bike boxes specifically needing to be under 158 centimetres. Ours were not. Other people's stories with flying bike boxes with China Southern meant that best case scenario we'd pay about $200 per leg, and worst case scenario we wouldn't be able to bring the bikes at all. So our only real plan heading to the airport was act with confidence and hopefully things fall our way. How you going? We're just going to drop off our bike boxes for our flight. Yeah, that was for flight CZ322.
And the guy behind the counter at the China Southern Airlines kind of looked at them a bit confused. And then he's kind of like, all right, you can take them in. So we got them in the end, no hassle. And all of our stress was kind of for nothing.
So not only did they let us pack our bikes, but we didn't even have to pay a cent for it. And that is what I would call the perfect omen for starting a new adventure. Our 30 hours of travel was split up with an 8-hour layover in Guangzhou. Riley ate some beef testicle soup there, and we also made a new friend in Steph. Despite that cool transition, we did have some issues when we first arrived in Paris. But most importantly, our bike boxes landed with no issues. And look, Kelly arrived in Paris as well. Say hi to Kelly, everyone. The plan was pretty simple once we landed in Paris. Put the bikes together at the airport and then just ride into the city.
We had to find a spot to put our bikes together, and it was this shitty little corner that was very secluded, which was nice, and it had the buses come past.
Just over 30 hours no sleep. Building this shit in the airport. Worst of all is how much easier this was at home. So we found ourselves a very nice bus parking spot or something, and we sat there for the next 2 hours probably, building our bikes. I fucked up.
Well, the building of the bikes went pretty smoothly, but we had a bit of an issue where we discovered that with tubeless tyres, you weren't meant to deflate the tyres all the way, which we did. And so there was some leaking of sealant and air along the bead of the tyre. Again, We didn't really know that at the time. We kind of just thought our tyres were all not working properly.
At this point, we kind of had a decision to make. The first option was probably the lazy one of take the train into the city and go find a bike store there. Or we be hands-on, proactive men and figure out a solution on our own. So we took the train in.
Eventually, yeah, we took the train in because we didn't want to risk fucking up our bikes on hour one of riding, which was frustrating because, I don't know, I just wanted to get down there and start actually cycling, and riding into Paris was like a cool thing we wanted to do.
Admittedly, it didn't feel great that we had already chosen to take the train the moment we landed, but if all went to plan, this would be the last time we'd set foot on a train for the next 9 weeks.
Riley won't stop pooing, so now we have to take the train to Berlin.
To our surprise, the bike tyres actually somehow fixed themselves on the train, which got us riding in our new city pretty much straight away.
And then to step out like into the middle of Paris was kind of like a cool, like stepping into a whole new world.
As tired as I was, riding a bike in a brand new city in a brand new part of the world was really exciting. The biking infrastructure in Paris was something that I'd never really experienced before, and it was pretty awesome just riding around this new place. But rather than just pointlessly riding around Paris, we actually had a destination to go to. After messaging many people on Warm Showers to get hosted, and not really being sure how the app works, we eventually got a response from the greatest human in all of Paris, Publio.
Okay, so our first warm shower host was Publio. Publio, just the absolute goat. Just genuinely the best person, or the best warm shower host we could have had going into the trip. I don't know, he helped us out so much, especially Riley, but he just told us what we needed, what we're getting ourselves into.
Yeah, we couldn't have really asked for a host for our first night. So he takes us in, lets us store our bikes, provided us not only with a house to sleep in, shower in, but gave us so much advice and like bike touring wisdom.
I think that was a perfect way to start the trip, but we went off to explore the city because we had some time and we didn't need to carry our bags, and this was probably just such the biggest culture shock for us during the whole trip because we were not ready for how many other bikes there were and how many bike lanes there were going to be, and we were just genuinely amazed because it was just a different world.
So then we went out for dinner with Publio in Paris, right along one of the canals, and I would blink and close my eyes, and I was I was genuinely falling asleep and dreaming mid-conversation at the table.
At this point, Riley was at about 60 hours no sleep, so we pretty much called it a night nice and early, and the tour was ready to begin. To kick off day 2, Kelly and me quickly got some tourism done while Riley had a ground sheet to organise. And we also learnt about Komoot, which other bike tourers watching this will probably go, why the hell did you start a bike tour without knowing what Komoot is? But I don't know, we were kind of just ready to learn things on the go.
Had some lovely crepes with Publio and then left Paris at about 4 p.m, which was unintentional.
Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. Bye.
Absolutely good. I think we finally left at 4 p.m. We gathered with the sun setting at 10:30 that we could just take advantage of that.
That ended up lasting about all of 5 seconds because Riley's bag straps became loose, probably because he'd never actually tested his setup.
I was very unprepared. I hadn't even put the bags on the bike and ridden with the setup that I was going to take here. So I'd slightly tested it, but I bought the bag that I was going to bring here very short notice.
Oh, how did that? Fuck. So pointless.
Okay, I'll pull over.
Oh, yeah, pull over. So we pulled over, grabbed a coffee, and then hit the road again. Didn't take us long to meet our first group of friends, led by Sarat and his group of Sri Lankan friends who kind of just saw us on our bikes and asked where we were going, and we said, we're trying to get to Amsterdam within a few weeks.
And they're like, oh, we're planning a trip through Amsterdam. We got that WhatsApp so we could tell them where we went, give them any tips. And they gave us a bit of a detour to follow them along for probably, 10 Ks maybe a bit longer.
We quickly abandoned our plans of where we were going to ride and just rode along with them for a little bit, which put us on this amazing road. But most importantly, Sarat was teaching us some new things about bike riding, which we actually had no idea about.
We learned how to slipstream.
I mean, we kind of knew about slipstreaming from, you watch the Tour de France or whatever, but we didn't realize just how effective it was. We rode past this cemetery and quickly he was like, pull over. So we pulled over and I was like, what the hell are we pulling over at a cemetery for? And what he showed us was that at every single cemetery in France, and he said that it wasn't just France, he said that most countries in Europe are going to have this sort of rule, is that all of them will have a water source connected in there.
The art of getting water at cemeteries, a massive hack. Always having a free tap. So whenever we needed water, we'd look up for a cemetery, and thank you to Sarat, who taught us that hack.
Because that was our first experience just meeting someone on the road. And I don't know, it's been 2 days and we've probably met the nicest people we could imagine. Thinking about who else we'll meet on the journey.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Chocolate banana. So it was kind of loosely mentioned at the start, but I think it's worth noting just how inexperienced we are at this. We'd never bike-packed or toured. Riley and me had only ever ridden over 80 kilometers in a day once before, and Kelly had never done more than 50.
Going into the trip, Vinny told me that we'd start the trip off nice and easy and just do, about 50 Ks a day for the first week and slowly work our way up, but we instantly went into 70 Ks, which is 20 Ks further than I had ever done.
Fucked how much power I've lost out of my legs today. Even on the straights, I was just getting up.
So to jump in doing 80 kilometers a day every day is probably stupid, but it's also great proof that literally anyone can just grab their bike and try something like this. Ideally, we would have liked to have gotten here an hour or so earlier when sunlight's on, but 10:30 is better than no time.
Night came pretty quick. We've got 16, 18 hours of sunlight, yet we still managed to find our first camping spot pretty much in the dark, which sucked.
And we were ready to set up and have some dinner, only to realize that we stuffed up pretty badly.
Whilst we bought gas and a stove, we needed also something to light the gas. So we had no way of cooking the dinner that we'd purchased.
Dinner was 3 decathlon nut bars and dessert is now Kinder bars. Couldn't stomach anything else. Fuck's sake. So after a brilliant feed of nut bars, we hit the sleep and felt pretty cool that our tour had gotten underway.
Leg and knee, but you're sliding that leg down so you feel a big stretch into the hip. And then you're going to take your hands and place them on either side of that front foot. We're holding here for 45 seconds. We're going to fold our chin to our chest, coming all the way down to open up into the chest.
We kind of decided that doing some daily stretching might be a good idea. Funnily enough, I don't actually remember us doing it again after this day. It's probably good that we did some stretching because we went off-roading pretty much straight away.
We chucked on our trusty Google Maps, which we're very familiar with, and it took us down a swamp.
Is this Google Maps or is this...
I was on GoPro duties and I left the camera on for 30 minutes because I was trying to traverse through the swamp land and not get my shoes wet, which I did.
Oh, fuck!
No, look at my fucking map, bro.
I'm looking at it.
We just came from there, we cut through here, so we cut on an angle and then across there. I fucked up, we went the wrong way.
Oh, you're an idiot. Alright, turn off bike tracks and just put on roads.
Bonjour. Parlez-vous anglais? Oui. Oui. Ah. Merci.
Okay.
And we discovered pretty quickly that being homeless, your first point of interest during the day is the toilets.
We didn't really know where we were going to be going to the bathroom most of the time or getting our water refills. Riley had a stroke of genius and figured that every McDonald's will have a bathroom.
Best toilet in France.
And I think that's when we realised we're going to be doing Macca's touring most of the way, just to find toilets.
Stats say 210 metres of single track, 52 kilometres of cycleway, 550 metres of path. I love a path. 9.35 kilometres of street, 180 metres of access road, 16 kilometres of road, and 20 metres of state road.
Got to get away. All this fussing and fighting, man, you know I sure can't stay.
So this is when we started going from small town to small town and seeing what the countryside of France was like.
Really great small towns that had like so much character.
Every small town you go through just has, I don't know, it feels like it has so much history behind it. Going in between the towns as well was just so pretty. We'd just go through wheat fields or forests. Like we were going down the Paris to London route, which was just this really well-built route, which we didn't even plan on going on.
We found the most beautiful cemetery on the side of the road.
No use of you running or screaming and crying.
We did a couple of fixed jobs on my bike out the front. I was taping up my handlebars. Probably a big lesson from the week is you can fix most things with zip ties and tape.
Now it's never coming off.
Well, that day was a pretty easy ride. It was very cruisy. And then we got into one of the towns. We had some ice creams. We were looking for a campsite and we decided there was two options. One was to keep going forward and maybe get a camp spot, or the other one was to do a detour and definitely get a camp spot. And we chose to do the detour. And this lovely ride that we had done during the day turned into just a hellhole for me because my legs were absolutely cooked.
Hey Kelly from the future, you're watching this going, I remember that struggling hill in week 1. And it got so much worse, didn't it? How's your calves?
Oh, that's burning.
And obviously I've been saying how I've got no experience with bike riding and I'm not physically capable of going on a bike tour, so these hills hit me like a ton of bricks pretty much. I had to walk up the hill. I think if I look back on it, the hill was probably like 150 elevation max, maybe, like it was nothing. But still, it was good practice for Italy because every hill is going to be small in comparison to what we have to do in the future.
At the back of my head through all of these hills was always the thought that 6 or 7 weeks time we're going to be going up the Dolomites.
And we kept going and we saw a tractor and we're like, well, we can't sleep here because obviously someone's property.
And we really didn't want to sleep on private land, so we had to figure out how we're going to get to this part of the forest that's flat. After initial plans of arriving at camp spot at 5 p.m, it is now 8:40, we'll say. We are still walking.
Stop making spooky sounds.
And it was just pretty much hiking at that point. We thought we found a campsite and then we didn't, and we decided to keep moving, and then we had to go over a fucking tree, and then I think climbing over the tree was the start of my hatred towards this challenge. It seemed like so much effort at the end of the day when night is setting to find a place to sleep when we could be paying €5 for a campsite. Probably more because it was peak season, but I'm just going to say €5 to make it dramatic.
Alright, but think about the dad law.
Oh,
The dad law.
back in my day, we had a man named Riley carry our bikes. All in all, once we committed to getting over that log, it was probably the right idea because it was a pretty nice camp spot.
Bonjour. I don't know how this works, by the way.
Lighter. Oh my god.
And we brought a lighter, so we actually had dinner this time and we had a good campsite. Got a little fire as well, so I think the mood was pretty high. I think the camp spot was really good.
till it begins.
And because it worked so well yesterday, we rode straight to the first Macca's we could find.
We started like learning the meta for what we want to do. It's like get water, sanitary, get food, bakery, take a shit, Macca's. And it's like become a bit of a routine of like finding those locations to fill our needs. It's been fun like figuring it out as we go.
So a big part of bike touring obviously is getting in as many calories as you can. Peanut butter is a pretty good option for this. So we turned up with our own baguettes and peanut butter, and that's how we did breakfast.
An even bigger day. So this was 3 days in a row of hitting my biggest ride ever, and we did 88 kilometers.
He's coming into the hairpin. Wow, that's artwork. To London.
It ended up being a really great ride though. I think that was one of my favorite days of riding.
So this will be the last kind of climb for the day until we're trying to get to the camp spot. That one was rough. We've got to get used to it. It's only going to get worse.
We went through this very beautiful town and we decided to stop off, get some more food, I guess some snacks at another bakery. But when we started leaving again, Vincent was pretty much just on his hands and knees begging me to listen to this footy podcast, which I had absolutely no interest in. And I eventually caved and I'm like, well, I need to charge my phone so I can't use my wired headphones. So I put the charger in. I'll get my AirPods out. And as I'm pulling them out, they fall out of the bag, bounce on the floor, and both the AirPods land perfectly across the road, and a car just slams through one of them instantly and fucks it.
But we were getting pretty good at the art of like slipstreaming. We were learning as we were going.
36, 37. Fuck, we almost had it for 40 there.
Yeah, we've learnt the art of slipstreaming, which is great because I'm not as fit as the other two, so they just carry me on the flats and wait for me on the hills, which is always good.
Stay in windbreaking formation. Windbreak formation form.
If I was crying in the van with my friend.
So unfortunately we couldn't quite squeeze the drone into our setup for the trip. So we've decided to go a bit rogue and see if a phone taped onto a frisbee will give us the same result.
I thought you would have done like that.
All right, that's taped on. Let's see how that works. Good luck to us.
You came to take us. All things go to recreate. All things go.
We had our first like stream swim of the trip, which was heavily needed after we hadn't had a shower since Publio's house.
We were trying to look for food and the only place around the campsite was this pizza joint.
He was like, what do we call him? The beefy pizza guy. I don't know, he works those pizzas.
He showed us the large and Vinny goes, no, that's not good. And he showed us the extra large and Vinny goes, no, that's not good. And then he showed us the super mega. We sat down at the 2 tables and the guy goes, no, you'll need 3 tables for your pizzas. And he whips out this massive fucking pizza.
Holy shit, was I feeling heavy on the bike afterwards.
We're so full of pizza. Vincent ate a super mega. Oh, and Kelly's freezing, so he's the first one leading for once. You getting this, GoPro? Look at our house. Oh, the forbidden fucking forest. Look at this shit. I know what we could fucking film tonight. The Blair Witch Project. Okay, no, what's most important, oh my God, it's so muddy, is that we have tree cover.
Moved on from the pizza joint and we had to find a camp spot, again in the dark, with our 16 hours of sunlight. We found a pretty good spot in the end, trying to look for cover because it was raining.
First rainy night. We survived, I guess. Day 5 kicked off with rain.
Ow.
Ended up going down this like single track mountain bike route that was pretty great.
Oh, fuck. Watch out for the root back there.
My handlebar started getting loose, everything was slipping out and about, but pretty fun, I will admit.
Good thing that we all took gravel bikes. We did a lot of off-roading, but this first track was really fun, but it was very slippery and dangerous. So I was a coward and went down nice and slow.
The biggest victim outside of the pit vipers from the downhill, my handlebars. Flexible.
So day 5 was again my longest ride ever, and we hit the ton. We hit 100, which was really cool. But I'll get into that a bit later, I guess.
Perfect breakfast spot, a laundromat. Oh yeah.
Merci. I don't know, we couldn't really ride, it was just pouring down straight away, so we kind of bunkered down in a Burger King.
Betraying our McDonald's overlords today.
Fuck McDonald's.
Wow, okay, Riley gave up on them quick.
And we go and visit the King, the Burger King, to hide out from the rain because it got pretty heavy. Using the great facilities that the Burger King had to offer us to charge our items. Kind of a great refuge spot.
Yeah, we kind of chilled there for way too long, but had to get dry, wait out the rain.
We'd managed to line ourselves up with a warm showers host for the end of day 5, and we were actually getting close to the water on the north side of France, so we figured let's just get a wriggle on and we can start getting to our warm showers host.
And I think we should have never left because Vincent straight away gets his first flat, our first flat for the trip.
I'd converted my tyres on my bike from tubed to tubeless because I'd watched a lot of videos of people saying you just need tubeless tyres if you're going for a long tour.
I'm going tubeless for the rest of the trip, no doubt about it.
And admittedly, I'm a bit of an idiot because I didn't bring any sort of tubeless repair kit with me.
Seal it up and then blow it up and see how that goes.
Do you have anything to tape onto it?
Did you not bring anything?
I didn't bring anything.
What do you mean you didn't bring anything?
The solution with this exploded tyre and no repair kit was that I taped it to the back of Kelly's bike and then rode with that to the nearest bike store that I could find.
And we didn't have the proper repair kit, which again is showing that we're a little unprepared. It's a lovely spot to sit though.
It's probably also important to mention that the rain that day had stuffed up my phone and turned the entire language system to like Dutch or Finnish or something. So I could barely even use my phone, and I was starting to get pretty annoyed. Oh fuck, my entire phone turned fucking Dutch. I don't even check where to fix this fucking tyre. I did find it Intersport, and just like that, a tube was popped into my tyre and I was pretty happily riding back to my bike. We are so fucking back.
In Le Treport, I don't know if that's how you say it. I think has actually been my favorite town that we rode through. It was like all these like super colorful buildings down by like this little like cute coastal town, and they had big white cliffs on either side.
Even the seagulls sounded cooler. French seagulls sounded like just really calming almost somehow.
And then we take it higher. Working so hard like a soldier. Can't afford a thing on TV. Deep in my heart I adore ya.
Djokovic mode.
God, we gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. And then we'll take it higher. Electric Avenue.
And I think we pulled up to Anne's and I was at like 99.8 Ks. So me and Riley just did a quick ride past the house and then came back, hit the 100, hit a small celebration. Good way of putting it was I was kind of proud of myself because I've been struggling so much over the last few days.
But most importantly, after doing 100 kilometers, we are all very, very hungry. Because we'd only gotten into the town where we were staying for the night very late, we were kind of like, shit, we're not going to have anywhere to eat. So we meet Anne and go inside, and there in the kitchen is an entire pasta salad, like buffet sort of setup. And Anne's generosity didn't end there. She had an amazing bedroom for us to stay in. Best fucking present ever. Along with that, we were able to wash our clothes, which is also pretty important. Also, shout out to the big dog Leo, who we may or may not hate in about 12 hours' time.
Yeah, we wake up the next day, Anne's gone off to work, so we're just setting off by ourselves, but she has this beautiful large dog called Leo, and he managed his way into a few of our things, unfortunately.
Leo, unfortunately, had decided to eat my hand cream that I just purchased, and then also steal my socks, and I never found those socks again. So we did have a bit of beef, me and Leo, but it's okay. I think I've come to forgive him.
Very sneaky dog, but I guess dogs be dogs. They do dog things.
But thank you again, Anne. We had a wonderful time and a wonderful stay, and it was time to begin our ride to Calais. The cool part was that now we were going to pretty much just be following a coastal route all the way to Amsterdam, so we were always going to have beautiful water on our side.
Oh no, I'm getting sunburnt.
We had our first encounter with stores being closed at lunchtime. In France, apparently, they close after lunch and then reopen it for dinner, but we weren't aware of that.
Trying to find somewhere to eat.
So obviously we just end up eating pastries again.
Pastries were delicious, the sun was shining, Riley could barely contain his excitement. Show us what you're good at now.
Quad lock, baby.
We had another big hill, some more training for Italy.
It looks bigger in real life.
Whatever this looks like on the footage, just
Five
times the vibe. Kelly, that wasn't the hill.
What do you mean?
That is.
But I did not get off my bike for this one, which was a great boost of confidence for me because the last hill defeated me, so this was great. I was bottom gearing and I was going like 4 k's an hour, but I still made it up, even if walking was faster.
Riding on the flats is fun as well. You can obviously go faster, but it's like, I don't know, a bit more interesting sometimes going up and down, which I guess we'll get a lot more of coming up later in the trip.
Found another warm showers host for the night, which had us very excited, by the name of Anne. Again, so a second Anne. The problem this is a lot of the problem with the warm showers app. Sometimes the app just doesn't really work. And once we arrived in Calais, I sort of just messaged her, "Hey Anne, we've arrived in Calais. What's the address that we're meant to be going to?" But for some reason it just wouldn't work. And there was no real way of contacting her because she had a phone number. We only had an eSIM, so we couldn't make any actual calls. This led to me downloading Skype with a France extension something, meaning I could call via Skype, hopefully Anne, and reach her. So I don't know, we were getting pretty close to just giving up and going camping again, but the Skype thing worked. I was able to call Anne, and she said, "Look, I'm not home, but my husband is, so come on in, knock on the door, and he should be able to greet you."
Patrice ended up being just this incredible old man. We walked in, he insisted and he takes our coats, and he has this amazing old house, and it's full of all this great memorabilia.
In the heart of this beautiful coastal town of Calais, we had a granny flat to stay in. We had a host in Patrice who was the coolest guy ever. We felt like we were staying in a 5-star hotel basically.
He gives us wine and cheese, and he's made us a lovely dinner, and he's telling us all these stories about when he used to live in New York and he was a bike messenger, and then he says he was a musician.
He was telling us that he was a struggling musician, and then half an hour later he'd casually dropped that he opened for the Rolling Stones.
And he said that he used to open for the Rolling Stones and tour with them.
Yeah, just a humble king.
To the bike. It was just a really great night, and after a pretty brutal week of bike riding, it was great to just relax, have some beer and wine, and really enjoy some company.
I did. We bought it, but I like it.
That's great.
It's not perfect because when you have to climb, sometimes you cannot. You
have to push.
But it's okay.
I've done plenty of pushing.
Yeah.
The next day we wake up and that's when we met Anne, because she didn't come home until after we went to bed. And she's a very, very nice lady. Told us of her journeys and gave us some great recommendations of where we should go. Got some stuff. I bought a nice bike hat. Then we said our goodbyes to Anne and Patrice early in the morning, and their lovely cat as well.
Au revoir.
There was something unbelievably satisfying about making it all the way from Paris to the north coast of France, using nothing but our legs and a bicycle. Lovely swim. You can see Rottnest Island in the back. What the hell? We had somehow lucked out again and organised ourselves another warm showers host for that night. This time it was Charles.
Getting there was an absolute hassle because we were told Charles would meet him at 4 p.m. after his shift, so we were kind of in a rush.
We had like mishap after mishap with navigation-wise on the last one.
So Google says we got to go straight rather than right where there is a path down this way.
Vincent was saying, let's go this way. Me and Kelly are saying, let's go this way. And we ended up saying, fuck it, let's just take our bikes through the grass.
Brilliant, another path.
No, we're going to the Buckridge Road.
Yep. How do we even get over the train tracks? There's a big ass fence. Brilliant, now we're around the roundabout here.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's this roundabout?
About here.
So we're gonna go around that side.
Oh yes, go on the train track. Wonderful.
And then we're like, okay, we'll carry our bikes along the train line.
We could have ridden 1.2 Ks by now, which was the difference.
No idea anymore.
Then we got to basically a road that's about to be built. So we're in the middle, we have no clue where we are. We look on Google Maps, none of this exists on Google Maps. It's fucking a mystery.
All right, I'm starting to think we fucked up. Oh. And I was pretty happy to give in at that point and admit that I was wrong.
I just want you to tell us where to go.
I would like to go the way that you have written down in Komoot. Can we head back that way and get back on? But you would rather go down that way. Your chain fell off.
Magnificent.
Fuck me, I just rode the whole way down the road. I turn around, they're still fucking about in the distance. That'll explain it.
We ride all the way along this construction road. There's workers on either side. If we pedal fast, maybe they won't tell us to stop. No one actually said anything, but we rode through. And then we came out actually on the road fine.
All right, we made it through the big digging site. ETA is 5:35. We've got to go quick and we can make it all the way down there and then left. Let's go.
But we decided to switch to my Komoot. And then, I don't know, I swear I was following it exactly as Komoot was saying. And we just are riding along, and then suddenly we're just riding on the highway.
We ended up on the fucking highway, which is not only illegal, but when you're riding with a bunch of bags and panniers on you, and there's cars merging from your right and from your left. Not ideal. The worst part is Riley didn't even turn his GoPro on, so there's no footage of us being complete idiots
But Vincent decides to tell me that I should have been filming. My first thought whilst doing this fucking highway ride wasn't to flick the GoPro on it and then start like having a look around. I think I was in kind of like survival mode.
And there was cars like flying past, and I was like, okay, I don't know, in my head I was like, the faster I go here, the more I like blend in and look like a car. And I actually got away fine. I didn't have anyone, but Vincent and Kelly were getting honked at apparently. It was sketchy as hell, yeah.
After we just went on the fucking highway, 3 cars fucking honked at me, just telling me get off the fucking highway. But no, Riley's commute says we have to go on there. Perfect, we're filming a Fast and Furious fucking movie across here.
We wanted to get off, and then I thought it was like we could squeeze through the next bit and we'll get off. It looked like the next trail, but then the little squeeze bit that we did had like all these thorns over it, and it was just like a shit show.
Oh my god, bro. Kelly's panniers probably don't even fucking fit along here. Oh my god. Ugh. Bro, what even is this? Charles? Oh, it's good to see you. We've had a long day. Finally, we saw Charles, and to celebrate us finding Charles, to really say thank you for waiting up for us, Kelly decided to get a flat tire.
Charles was awesome. He helped us out with my tyre.
Charles led us into Dunkirk, and Riley was finally able to pick up his ground sheet that Publio had organised to be sent to an optometrist in Dunkirk.
I was just like frustrated at all of the shit that was going on, and so I wanted to make sure also that I didn't screw over Publio, who, the goat again by the way, who came up and clutched through and ordered me some decathlon equipment for the trip, and I didn't want to let his like order that he'd somehow ordered to an optometrist. I don't know what the hell's going on with that, but we had to go pick that up. But then when we got to Charles's, like Charles also just an absolute fucking Chad. It was like, took us straight into his apartment, which is like right in the center of Dunkirk. Has like a massive building. I don't even know what that is, but it's cool. And he's like right near the town center.
Oh, that's a nice bike he's got. Whoa. And once we got to Charles's place, very lovely place by the way, exactly where we're doing our interview right now. Lovely, lovely spot, great views. The water wasn't running, so it's good to see that our luck is following us. So the solution for that was Charles sent us to his friend's place down the road, Yasser, and we had a shower at his place, and that was also very lovely, so thank you, Yasser. We came back to Charles's, enjoyed some beers.
For your last day in France.
Yeah, that's true.
Last day in France.
That's kind of sad, actually.
He's like a triathlete, so we had like a lovely veggie lasagna. And then, yeah, played some cool card games. So after recording these interviews, and head into Belgium, so it'll be our second country. I think the first week's been, like, in all honesty, like a lot of things have fucked up, gone wrong. I think we've been kind of lucky with the amount of generosity that people have shown us. I think I'm excited to see like how well we start to even further the way we, organize all this stuff. Like, I think it's only going to get better as we go.
Although he does go on about the Tatsushira Yamashita album, which I found, but he goes on about it like he found it. I don't know why he describes it as a Mario Kart one, it kind of annoys me. Oh, I'm still filming, shit. Damn, he's gonna hear me talking shit about him.